everyone. How are you guys today? Let me just go ahead and put these links up for you. So we are going to be talking a little bit about the hot topic in this group right now, which is immunity. There is a pending post from Gershinder here in the group that I wanted to take live because there's lots of questions. I haven't even thoroughly read all of them. I just know that this is going to be something that probably many of you also. Actually, let me make sure this is pulled up here so you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. Questions that you probably also have that I can answer for you. And then whoever happens to be on right now, if you have any questions for me, first of all, related to this topic, I'm going to go through and address this question. And then secondly, if you have anything that's not related to this at all, I would be happy to answer for you. So let me go ahead over and tag Gershinder as you guys are hopping on. I know it takes a moment for Facebook to notify you that I am live. So let me go ahead and add a comment and see if I can tag this person. And then, okay, perfect. Great. So let's get to it. The first question is, hi ladies, I'm new to essential oils. My son is 2 years old and has been sick. Some friend told me about a specific brand name, Roll-On. That's an anti-germ Roll-On. She's saying it in here. I'm not necessarily going to say brand names if I can avoid it. So she has an anti-germ Roll-On to use on his spine and the soles of his feet, and she has been doing that on him until now for a whole month. But she said the specific brand is expensive and that she's read about another brand that is more affordable, and she's wondering a few things about this Roll-On. Sorry, I think I had pretzel in my teeth. Okay, so her questions are, and these might be questions that you have asked yourself, so I'm going to go ahead and answer these for everybody. What can she use on his spine and on his soles, the soles of his feet, for boosting immunity? What oil can she diffuse for cleaning the air at home as they have been sick for over a month? What diffuser do I recommend that has good reviews? How to disinfect couches and carpets, which oil and ratio, and any other brand which is better and more affordable and no MLM. And then she apologizes for the long post. She's read files and posts, but it's so overwhelming and she's never been into oils. So again, these are questions that a lot of you may have wondered. They're questions that have come up a lot lately as we are in cold and flu season. As you know, there's been a lot of talk in that elderberry post, of which I know there's comments that I haven't yet seen, so give me some time to address every one of your comments. I know I've been on it for a while, but I had to take a break for a bit. So I will be back on in a minute. After this, I will be on after this and be able to address more of your questions and concerns there. But let's go ahead and address these because this is a complex, a lot of questions that may feel very complex, but has very simple answers. So yes, it can be overwhelming to try to find information in this group using the search function, which is why which is why we try to encourage everyone to go to our website, which is a little bit easier to search. Facebook, sometimes the search function does not work. There's things in here, I've put keywords in, and it has either no results or 2 results, and it's frustrating. I'm actually currently working on a membership that is free for you guys that is more organized even than my website, and it's taking me a long time to do because it is a huge project and I want to make sure that it makes your life easier when you are trying to find answers to questions. So I apologize that Facebook does not make it easy for you guys to find your questions, which is why we encourage you to ask your questions in this group so we can tag you in the appropriate place. So first of all, applying essential oils directly to the spine is not going to help with anything unless you have something wrong with your spine, or if you have acne on your spine, or a burn on your spine, or a bug bite on your spine. But simply rolling essential oils over the spine does not actually help with anything. An anti-germ roller, for example, that Gershinder has used is not going to help with germs. There are more effective ways to help deal with germs. Same with using on your feet. Unless you have a germ issue, unless you have a foot issue, unless you have sore feet, achy feet, acne on the feet, blisters on your feet, scars on your feet, whatever on your skin, on your feet, that is the only reason or reasons why you want to use essential oils on your feet. So simply applying a focus blend or an energy blend or a blend for immunity, and let's talk about that in a minute, and a blend for germs and all of that, applying them to your feet is not going to be effective, or at least not as effective, depending on the issue, because you are still inhaling those essential oils. So those of you who are like, I'm still going to use it on my feet because it works. The reason why it will work somewhat for you is because you are inhaling those essential oils as you are applying them to your feet. But they will not be as effective as if, for example, you used those same essential oils in a personal inhaler, in a diffuser pendant, or diffusing in your room. So it's a waste of essential oils, and they're not going to be that effective. So I do not recommend rolling essential oils along the spine for immunity, germs, or anything else. Same with the feet. And I can give you, hey Sherry, I can give links. I think I have, is it No Feet? I think is the one. Thank you, Siri, because I was definitely talking to you. Let's see. So that's a link to Why No Feet, in case you're wondering why. And I think you'll find that it makes a bit of sense once you actually read it. And so her next question was, she's wondering about brands. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a link to brands, or for Gershinder as well when she gets on here. It's not usually so much about the brand as far as, you know, this specific brand of lavender worked and this specific brand of lavender didn't. It's usually your efficacy is going to be based on how you are using it, or your effective result is going to be based on how you're using it, where you're placing it, all of that. There's many different factors. Brand is generally not one of them, especially if you are purchasing from, you know, brands we are all familiar with, websites online that have been in business a length of time. I don't suggest you grab your essential oils from Best Buy or Walmart. So let's be real here. Let's see. So her next question is what she can use on the spine and soles for immunity boost. So the answer is none. The essential oils are not going to be effective. And let's talk a bit about immunity. This has been coming up a lot. I know it's cold and flu season. I've tried to make lots of posts based on this. And it's funny because every time I make a post based on this, there's fresh new people every time that see it and go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. So for those of you who are faithful, loyal members that see and respond and read every single thing I post, you will see that I do repeat information probably once a week, sometimes a little bit less often, depending on how important it is, because we get hundreds of people in this group new every single week, because the Facebook feed it changes its algorithms all the time, and people aren't seeing the stuff. So if you happen to be one that is, I apologize, but most people are not seeing everything that's posted, or at least even half the stuff that's posted. There's a lot of stuff that people don't see. So essential oils do not boost your immunity. They just don't. That is one of the things that essential oils are not going to help you with. Same with thyroid issues. Same with helping with hormone levels. There are just things that essential oils are not the tool to go for. They're a great tool. You should definitely have some on hand for certain issues. For some things, they are the number one tool to go for. But in this situation, when we are talking about immunity, we want to look to herbs. We want to look to medicinal herbs such as elderberry. And elderberry is proven. It's been around since the beginning of time. It's amazing. There's tons of research. You can go to PubMed.com. You can go to scholar.google.com. You can just plain Google it, and you will find lots and lots and lots of research showing how wonderful and effective that elderberry is for killing viruses, for keeping you healthy, even as a preventative, a true preventative, and for reducing the illness, the length of time of your illness. It's absolutely amazing. So if you haven't heard much about this, there's another thread in this group where I broke it down for you, the effectiveness and the safety also of elderberry, because some people are confused on the safety of elderberry. They're getting it confused with the safety of echinacea. So where elderberry is amazing, I have a recipe for you if you'd like to make your own. Elderberry is absolutely amazing. It is safe for all ages. You can take it daily during cold and flu season. It's not going to hurt you. You will not build up a tolerance. It is safe for people with autoimmune diseases. Safe during pregnancy and breastfeeding. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's safe for all ages. Echinacea, however, while it's safe for pregnancy, safe for breastfeeding, safe for all ages, some people that have autoimmune disorders or compromised immune system, some of them have issues with echinacea, but not elderberry. That being said, anyone can be allergic to anything. Anyone can have sensitivities to anything. God forbid, there's those people out there that are allergic to chocolate even. I mean, come on. So, people are different. Some people have, certain things where they just can't have them, and we may not know why. But for those of you who have heard that you can't take elderberry if you're pregnant, that you can't take elderberry if you have an autoimmune disorder, that is not true. So I just wanted to make that clear. And there is a post in this group where I have shared some information from herbal experts over at herbmentor.com. You can check out learningherbs.com for a free resource. Let me go ahead and type that in. Then we have herbmentor.com, which is a paid membership program that I am personally subscribed to, which is why I wanted to dig in and grab that information from the true herbal experts. So I am a certified herbalist. That is a certification that I received several years ago. I think it's been about 6 years right now. But as you may have noticed, I'm kind of more into essential oils. But the people over there at Herb Mentor, that's all they do. That is their life. They do herbs. So they can be trusted. I also have a botanical safety handbook for herbs that's super thick. It's just like essential oil safety for herbs. And that also, it has elderberry classified as a class A group. It's 1A, which is the safest group of herbs that you can possibly be exposed to. So totally safe. Highly recommend, Gershinder, that you take a look at elderberry for boosting immunity. Now, children can take a teaspoon of elderberry on a daily basis during cold and flu season if you make your own. The only concern is that you want to be aware if you are adding honey, especially raw honey, avoid it under age 1. And otherwise, you can use sugar, brown sugar, stevia. Not stevia. I don't recommend stevia. Sucanat. You can use that as well, or maple syrup under age 1. Adults can take a tablespoon a day. Now, if you have been exposed to people who are sick, if you've been out and about during cold and flu season, you can feel free to ramp that up. Now, once you're sick, or if you start feeling, and I know some of you know what that means, you just start feeling like, oh, I think I might be getting sick. And if you are aware of that, and if you can do something about it right away, I personally, when I start feeling, I think I might start to be coming down with something, I would take that teaspoon for kids, tablespoon for adults every 2 to 4 hours. Probably more the 4 hours if you're just suspecting. If you are actively sick, every 2 to 4 hours. You can take that elderberry. Now, the worst thing that can happen if you take too much elderberry, say you're taking a quart a day. Now, you can take several ounces. I've actually done it. You can take several ounces a day if you need to. I suggest only doing that if your body is used to it anyways. The worst that's going to happen, you may have a bit of upset stomach. You may get some diarrhea, and that's just because you've just had too much. It's not a long-term thing. It's not going to You aren't going to build up a tolerance to it. It's super, super, super safe and effective. It's just amazing. So that's what I would recommend for boosting your immunity. Again, you can take it every single day. Echinacea is something I don't recommend taking on a daily basis. I recommend taking echinacea when you are sick. So Gershinder's other question is what can be put in a diffuser for cleansing the air in the home? So I know a lot of you guys like to grab your anti-germ blends, the ones containing cinnamon bark and clove and eucalyptus and rosemary. I don't recommend that. There's a lot of safety issues, even with inhalation, for children under the age of 10. So what I recommend for you to diffuse that is going to be safe for all ages, that will be safe for pregnancy, that will be safe for breastfeeding, that will be safe around your dog. No essential oils for cats. That'll be safe if you're on medications, whatever that it is. There's no interactions for tea tree and lemon essential oils. So that's what I would recommend adding to your diffuser. You can diffuse this. I recommend diffusing no more than 10 minutes on, 20 minutes off. You do not need to or want to diffuse 24/7. That would be like drinking a glass of water 24/7. That would be like eating food all day long. You don't need to do it. So that's what I would recommend for diffusing. As for a diffuser that I do recommend, the 10 minutes on, 20 minutes off, I've only been able to find in the Jasmine diffuser. Now, I did notice, and I just added a link there, this Jasmine diffusers by Stadler Form. I have noticed that they do have a couple of other kinds of diffusers, the Mia and something else, that also say that they're 10 minutes on and 20 minutes off. At least one of them says. It may be the Mia, but I'm not sure. I personally don't have it, so I'm not sure what the difference is between those other ones that they have and the Jasmine. All I know is I have several of these Jasmine diffusers, and I absolutely love them. Now, what I like about the 10 minutes on and the 20 minutes off is the fact that it prevents olfactory fatigue. So you are exposed to those essential oils, your body can therapeutically respond to those essential oils, and then the aroma shuts off. So your body's like, okay, we're good. And then it kicks back on and your body kicks back in as well. When you are diffusing 24/7, you are just simply overdoing it. Your body just kind of like, it gets that olfactory fatigue, it shuts it off, and it can be too much. It's overkill and it's not necessary. The exceptions can be if you are in an open area, say you are diffusing in your living room, and everybody's not in it all day. People are kind of in and they're kind of out and the air is moving. You may have a fan on. You can diffuse longer under those circumstances. And if you guys have any specific questions about diffusing, I get a lot of brain dumping to do. So I'm trying to actually remind myself to kind of rein it in and not completely brain dump on you guys. But there is no need to diffuse 24/7. And in fact, it's not good for you. As for disinfecting couches and carpets, which oil and ratio? So I like to defer to the manufacturers of your couch. I do not know what kind, what fabric, any of that. Same with carpets. You want to follow their instructions so you don't void any warranties or make any issues. But typically, tea tree and lemon are going to be very good disinfectants. You can add some to soap. Again, I don't know what kind of material your couches are or your carpets are, but I do know that tea tree and lemon essential oils are absolutely amazing as a disinfectant. Any other brand which is better and more affordable and no MLM. So I do have recommendations for brands, and these are brands that I personally use and that I personally avoid, and it's largely based on safety. It's probably no surprise to you that when I look at a company, I kind of review and look and assess to see how safety minded are there. And the reason why I can be so picky is because there's a lot of brands out there. There's hundreds of brands. There's more brands cropping up all the time. There's probably a dozen brands just in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. There's brands in Walmart. Pretty much every store. You could probably find it at your local Quick Trip or gas station, whatever. They're probably also in there, but at this point, you can find them everywhere. So for me, I like to be as picky as I want because I can do that and I can decide where I'm spending my money. So there are brands out there that are more safety conscious, that they do care that their customers have good experiences, that they care that their customers do not have adverse reactions. So they are very careful to present all the safety information possible for those essential oils, such as if you are pregnant, avoid this particular one. And I don't mean the standard, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, consult your doctor, keep away from kids. I don't mean that. That's a standard a thing that some companies will say, whether it's essential oils or vitamins or supplements or whatever, to cover their butt legally. And we all kind of like don't look at it, right? We all kind of, we know it's there and we're like, yeah, like that's what they all say. There are legitimately certain essential oils that you do want to stay away from if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding. There are certain essential oils that you need to stay away from if you are on medications, if you are on blood thinners. There are certain essential oils when applied topically to your skin, even if diluted, can cause a phototoxic reaction, which can present itself in redness and blistering and rashes and whatnot. And it's not all of them, it's only certain ones. So you want to make sure that when you are looking at the safety, you are not seeing standard same safety issues for every single essential oil, because they are different. And you also want to make sure that whatever information they are sharing with you is actually accurate. I do have a link as well. I think it's this one. How to tell. And this is a link that you can use if you want to know how I assess different companies. You can check out that link, how to tell if essential oil company is worth purchasing from, just by looking at their website. And you can see the steps that I take when I assess if a company is one that I want to invest my money in and spend my money on. Because you know what? We can be picky. There's a lot of companies out there. Okay, so I think I've actually gotten all of the questions. Perfect. So now I want to go through and answer. I wanted to address for Gershinder all of her questions first off, so that as she is watching this video and listening to my reply, that she can get all her answers in a specific amount of time. So Janet wants to know what oils to avoid if nursing. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the link. Oh, let me edit that. Hang on a second. It posted too quickly. To our post on breastfeeding. Give me one moment. I have to edit that. This will give you a list of essential oils that are not recommended to use and some that are safe. So go ahead and check that out. What other questions did I miss? Hey, everyone! I'm so glad you guys are on. I know I'm on a little bit late, but I'm like, you know what? People are all over the world in this group, so I'm sure somebody will be on, and there's always the replay, right? Coriel says, what about 15 minutes on and 30 minutes off? That's what all of my diffusers are. The max is 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, and 2 hours and off. 15 minutes on and 30 minutes off isn't too bad. No, that's fine. I prefer the 10 and 20, 15 and 30 is not so bad. That would be okay. The only concern would be if you have it right on your desk, if you're in your office, if you have it right on your nightstand, like if it's really close to you, 15 minutes might be a little too long. And how you know is if you start feeling nauseous, headachy, cranky, allergy symptoms, kind of like sneezy, itchy eyes, whatever, then you know you've kind of overdone the diffusing. And the good news is all you need is to seek fresh air and that will clear itself up. There's no long-term damage from that. So just keep an eye on that. Maureen is saying, yep, that's how I do it. I rarely take unless getting sick or sick. I had elderberry syrup on pancakes one day when I was out of maple syrup. What a great idea. Oh my gosh, I love that. Guys, you want your kids to take your elderberry syrup, put it on some pancakes. Call it blueberry syrup. I don't know. That's amazing. I love that. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Bonnie is saying or asking, what do children with anxiety-related issues use? So I'm going to give you a link to our post on anxiety that gives you some information and some essential oils that can be useful for anxiety. Let's see. I didn't see the link for brand recommendations. There you go, Stacy. Are there any oils that are helpful for thin hair? Essential oils are not going to be helpful for the structure of the hair, but I would look to carrier oils, and that kind of thing. I would make sure that you're taking B vitamins. I don't know what your health is like. I would make sure that you're taking supplements. You can consume coconut oil, not fractionated. You can consume coconut oil. There's other things that you can take for hair, skin, and nails, collagen. But essential oils aren't going to be something that will actually help with your hair structure. Yes, Lucia, you can diffuse on a Himalayan salt lamp. Absolutely. Do you see mine? See, where is it? Right here. Okay, this is all backwards and it's like freaking me out here. This is one of my Himalayan salt lamps. It's not currently on right now. This is what I like to use. It has chunks of salt in it. It's not a one like solid chunk of salt. It has different chunks. So what I like to do is when I use it, I like to drip different essential oils on different chunks. For example, I may have one chunk that I'll drip my energy blend on. I may have another chunk that I drip my sedative essential oils on for sleep. So it really depends on what your needs are, what you're going to apply. But absolutely, it can be a great way, especially I have one in my bedroom as well, to help you relax. If you can search this group for, actually, you know what? I can do it now because I don't need this window open for this because I've already applied to that. I actually did post not too long ago about the benefits of using a salt lamp. Perfect. Here it is. So I'm going to link this for you. There are benefits to using a salt lamp, and if you are dripping your essential oils on it, that can be even better. Okay, let's see. You are welcome, Stacy. Elderberry is my favorite. Yes, love it, love it, love it. All right, so let me just scroll back and see what other questions that I missed while I was answering that other question. Okay. Hey, from Nepal. Awesome. Nathan and Ashley. Ashley saying, I'm so enjoying this group. I feel like I finally found a place I belong in regard to essential oils. Thank you for all you do, Leah. Thank you, Ashley. I am so glad you are here. It makes me so excited every time we have new members because I'm like, I'm really excited because they're about to learn a lot about essential oils. Super, super excited. Amory's asking, what essential oils to use if I have been exposed to the flu? Yes, to elderberry. So what I would do is I would definitely continue taking your elderberry. I would also have my personal inhaler with tea tree and lemon, or even if you aren't on medications, you can use cinnamon bark, you can use cinnamon leaf, depending. I mean, just understand the safety issues before you use those certain essential oils. But there are other anti-germ essential oils too. Tea tree and lemon are my favorites, though, for normal general use for people. But you can inhale this. I like to recommend carry your personal inhaler around or grab your aroma diffusing pendant or bracelet or earrings, whatever that you have, when or just before you're going into stores. So when I go grocery shopping, I used to do this more religiously. I don't do it as much anymore, but I need to. But take a deep breath or two of your personal inhaler while you're in the car. Take your couple deep breaths, go in the store, go on your play date, do your visit, do whatever you need to do. When you come back to the car, take another couple breaths. What this will do, you are actually going to be inhaling those essential oils, and you know this because you can smell them. So you are going to be inhaling these essential oils. They are going to get in your system, in your lungs. So when you are out and about and you are breathing those germs, your body has soldiers already ready there to strike and attack and kill those germs. So that's what I would recommend. I would also recommend a hand sanitizer. I do have a link to hand sanitizer on my website. So there you go. Let me make sure that goes up. Perfect. And that is something that I would also use after, you get in the car. Give it, let your kids use it as well, as long as they aren't young enough to be sucking on their hands afterwards. You can use your hand sanitizer and you can go on your merry way home. It's what I highly recommend doing between the inhalation and the topical use on your hands, and taking the elderberry, that is excellent. Now, if you have people over your house, you can also diffuse tea tree and lemon if somebody's sick or has a cold. That can help with the airborne germs. That can help with people coughing, simply talking, in the air. You can diffuse, and that can kill the germs on contact. So that would be another thing, another way that you could use essential oils for those purposes. Thank you, Michael. You're like, preach it. You are welcome, Lucia. Erica's asking my favorite essential oil for relaxation. Ooh, I actually have a blend of essential oils that I like. It's cedarwood, tangerine, and vanilla. Yes. Absolutely love that. So I would recommend, in general, my favorite sedative essential oils to recommend is not lavender, but cedarwood and sandalwood. Those are two super powerhouses when it comes to sedative essential oils. So if you're talking about sleep relaxation, that's what I would recommend. Lavender, we've had these discussions many times in this group. Lavender can have the opposite effect for many, and a lot of people don't like the smell. And I know it has that reputation of being like the first thing you want to grab if you want sleep or if you want to feel calm. But it's really not. The cedarwood and the sandalwood, vetiver as well, those sedative essential oils with all of those base notes, those are the ones that you want to grab. Those are the ones that are going to have a much more effective result. Let's see. I love this group. There's a lot of MLMs that have horrible information. Now, I just want to stop you there. I understand what you're saying, but there's also a lot of non-MLMs that have a lot of terrible information as well. I just want to put that out there. I really wish the safety would come first, but a lot of people find out the hard way. That is true. You know what? I avoid Pinterest like the plague. I avoid Instagram like the plague, unless it comes to, of course, my own accounts, right? Twitter, same way. But especially the Pinterest, because you see images and recipes all the time from people that are not certified, that barely started even learning about essential oils, and they're putting out all of this information because they want you to understand the benefits and they want you to buy their oils. And so they're telling you all these different ways that they use them and how you should use them. Not necessarily safe. I just had this picture. Like, it's just like people going to Walmart and buying Tylenol and then posting online all the different ways they're using their Tylenol. It's like, okay, Tylenol should only be used if this, and this, for this, and this person, when, if, this, and that. Like, you can't just grind it up and add it to your cereal. You can't just grind it up and put it in your coffee. Like, no, there's a time and a place for medications. There's a time and a place for essential oils. Tylenol has safety issues. Some essential oils have safety issues. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But unfortunately, because it's not regulated, and not that I'm saying it needs to be, because I don't need the FDA in my business. I don't want people telling me how to use my essential oils. But there's a lot of people out there not using essential oils correctly, and in fact, very unsafely. MLMs and non-MLMs. You can find that all over the place. Facebook, Pinterest, wherever. So yeah, my mission is to try to combat all that unsafe information with safe information. So hopefully, but I'm with you. Really wish the safety would come first. Absolutely. Totally agree, Coriel. What are few of the warming essential oils for this cold winter, especially to be incorporated into a foot cream that gives a balmy, soothing feeling? Ginger is amazing. It's stinky, but it is also warming. Cinnamon bark, cinnamon leaf, and clove are also warming essential oils. However, they also have some safety issues. So you want to make sure you are doing the research first before using them. Warming essential oils tend to be stimulating on the skin. Black pepper can also be slightly warming. And it usually the warming essential oils are the ones that are going to stimulate the circulatory system and sometimes leave a bit of redness on the skin, which can be confusing because redness on the skin can tell you, yes, it is stimulating the circulatory system and doing its job, but it can also be a warning for an adverse reaction if you are going over the topical max. So unfortunately, cinnamon bark, cinnamon leaf, clove, those have very, very, very low topical maxes. So they are very difficult to incorporate into a topical foot cream or an oil without giving you possible adverse reactions because of that. What I would suggest is ginger tea, not from the essential oil, from the herb. Grab yourself some ginger root at the store, buy a chunk of it, micrograte some in your hot water to make yourself a tea, maybe add some lemon, not essential oil, but an actual lemon. Freeze the rest of your ginger root. That will freeze well. And then whenever you need it, you can take it out frozen and you can micrograte the frozen ginger right into your tea. So that's what I would recommend, because tea is warm. And when you drink it, this is why people do this. It does warm you. It does make you feel warmer without necessarily using something topically. So that would be my suggestion. Jessica's asking or saying, I've always been really hesitant to start inhalation, but I'm interested. What makes it so different than ingesting? Will this not cause issues to lungs and trachea? Oh, excellent questions, Jessica. Inhalation is just so effective for so many things, particularly emotional or limbic system issues, and yes, even germs, as we explained. Inhalation of the anti-germ essential oils can help fight off germs that you are breathing in as well. But if we are talking focus, energy, headaches even, any sort of emotional type issues, basically if it's not a topical skin issue, inhalation is going to be so much more effective, because when you breathe that in, the essential oils not only get breathed into your lungs, but they also trigger the limbic area of your brain and reach your emotions. So PMS, all that kind of stuff, essential oils when inhaled is super, super effective for. Now, ingesting is totally different, because number one, a lot of the essential oils do get destroyed in the stomach and aren't going to really benefit you. But as they are going down, if you are drinking them in your water, which I don't recommend, that can cause damage. You could cause damage to the inside of your mouth, to your esophagus, to your stomach, and also put that burden on your liver and your kidneys. So it's definitely much more risky, and you do increase your chances of adverse reactions when you are ingesting. Now, if you are adding essential oils to a capsule, then you can prevent that internal damage of it all going down, but your liver and your kidneys still have to process that. And a lot of essential oils, they're not meant to be consumed. And I don't mean based on brand, I mean based on the essential oil itself. They are meant to be inhaled. They're aromatic. Essential oils are meant to be inhaled. That's where we get the word aromatherapy from. They're aromatic. We can also use them topically on the skin, but using them by consuming them it increases your risk so high, and the benefits are usually extremely low to nothing. Now, there are two specific instances where I am comfortable recommending ingesting essential oils. It's two specific essential oils, each for their own specific purpose, and that would only be after you've tried other methods to help with those situations. So I've given you a link to my podcast where I explain that a little bit more in detail than right here. As far as causing issues to the lungs and trachea, it would depend on the essential oil. There are some essential oils that are rather harsh, but generally breathing them in, like when you're diffusing them into the air, is not going to cause problems, generally speaking, at least not by the nature of having them in the air and breathing them in. It's not like cigarette smoking. So if you are using those e-cigs with essential oils, the Monk or whatever those things are, I would not recommend that. But if you are adding essential oils to your water, diffusing them into the air, if you are adding essential oils to your personal inhaler and breathing them in that way, that is going to be fine, keeping in mind the safety of the essential oils. So if you're pregnant, don't inhale essential oils, not safe for pregnancy. If you're under age 10, there's certain essential oils you don't want to inhale, so those safety issues. But in general, no essential oils are not going to inherently cause issues when breathing them. That's how they're meant to be used. Let's see. Coriel says, yes, cannot do lavender. It wakes my family up and makes us go, go, go. Plus, the smell triggers my migraines. You are not alone. A lot of people don't love lavender. I tried a blend of eucalyptus and lavender in my foot cream, and instead of warming, it made my feet cold. Yes, because that's because of the 1,8 cineol that's in the eucalyptus. And had it that way for half an hour, just the opposite of what I was looking for. Yeah, so if you have any questions about what to do in those situations, you got to ask us here in this group. We will give you advice. But yeah, eucalyptus would give you a similar effect as peppermint, which has menthol, which is definitely very cooling. You are welcome, Gershinder. I'm so glad you're on here and you were able to reply. I'm so excited. Hey, Susan. Rhiannon says, my friend works in childcare with babies to 6 years old. Is tea tree and lemon okay to diffuse, or do you not recommend diffusing in childcare centers because of possible issues? Yeah, I generally recommend not actively diffusing while children are in the room. Now, tea tree and lemon are safe for all ages, yes. What I generally recommend is diffusing before the children come in, diffusing at the end of the day after they leave, maybe diffusing while they're eating lunch in another room, or at least to the far end of another room of the same room. You can use tea tree and lemon in a spray as you're wiping down the desks and stuff, but you don't want like a long-term / like all-day exposure to diffusing. Like that is not something that I would recommend. You are welcome, Jessica. Do essential oils have a shelf life expiration date? Yes, they do. And here's a link for you there. And their shelf life is specific to what the essential oil is. Some of them last longer than others. It's not a one-size-fits-all as far as shelf life goes in essential oils. Generally speaking, the ones with the more top notes are going to last 1 to 2 years. The ones that are more sedative with the base notes, they are going to last, 6 to 8 years and longer. One key that you do want to keep in mind, and this is referenced in the shelf life of essential oils post I just linked you to, is that refrigeration, or at least keeping in a cool area, is going to extend the shelf life of your essential oils. So you don't want to line them up in your window. You don't want to store them in a warmer area. If you have a heating vent in your home, you don't want to place them directly on it or near it. You want to store them as coolly as possible. I have a wine cooler fridge in my office that I like to store essential oils in. And so, if you have a lot of essential oils, that could be something you could do. My office itself, because I'm in the basement, is actually inherently cooler too. So I actually do keep some out as well, because they are in a cool area. Like I literally right now, I always have a sweater on in here. I have a blanket over my legs right now. Like it's a little bit cool in here and I'm okay with that. I'm not shivering, but I like to keep it a little cool in here. So keep them cool. Diffusing essential oils for pregnant women is okay, as long as the essential oils diffused are safe for use during pregnancy. We do recommend generally that the first trimester of pregnancy that you do want to avoid essential oils. And that is only because that is your generic thing that your doctor, your midwife, everybody will tell you in your first trimester, just be careful of everything. So definitely don't go overboard with it. If you are feeling sick, you can use essential oils to help you feel better, morning sickness or whatever. If you have a backache, you can apply them topically. You just want to avoid using essential oils that are not okay during pregnancy. Yes, so yeah, mood lifting, relaxing, absolutely. So let me give you a link to a list of essential oils that will be helpful. Not necessarily helpful. A list of essential oils that are safe and some that you definitely want to avoid. Hey, Velma, thanks so much for joining. You are welcome, Rhiannon. Liz is asking what oils are better for joint pain. Great question. Let's see. So are we talking like knee joint pain? Or are we talking like arthritis joint pain? We definitely want to use the essential oils topically for that. Copaiba is a great one. Helichrysum is a great one. Depending if it's hot or cold pain, maybe peppermint essential oil may be good. Let me just go ahead because I have a post that I want you to see. And I can't remember exactly what the pretty link is that I had for that. So give me 1 second because it's going to list for you some essential oils as well that are going to be helpful for you. And the ones that are going to be useful if it's like a cool pain or a hot pain. So give me 1 second. I'm going to give you, let's see. I'm going to give you the muscle aches one just because this actually has like the same information that I want to tell you anyways. Joint pain is a side effect to medication. Oh, well, there's your answer. Avoid the medication. I know that's not possible. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I only say that because whenever you have some sort of issue, you want to figure out why you're having that issue and you want to stop it. In your case, you probably need the medication. I'm assuming. So I cannot tell you to stop taking it, of course. But if it's a side effect to medication, then, that is something that unfortunately has to be dealt with, but can be helped with essential oils. Because the medication may always try to prompt your body to have those aches in your joints. I don't know the medication. I don't know why it's specifically causing a side effect of joint pain. You may try, consuming collagen or doing something else that usually helps with joints. But topically, I'm going to give you that link because it gives you certain essential oils that are cooling, some that are warming, and some that are neutral. And just understand that I have specific custom recipes that I can do for you guys over in the EO Recipes Club. So this is general information that you can use and that can be helpful and give you answers. But if you need something like extremely specific, custom tailored, etc., you need to get in the EO Recipes Club because I can do that for you all day long. Arnica is good for joint pains and arthritis as long as you don't apply in open wounds. Absolutely correct. So those would be the essential oils. As far as the carrier oils, absolutely. Arnica oil, arnica lotion, trauma oil. Those are all 3 really great things by themselves that can be used for muscle aches, joint pain, any sort of topical pain. But yes, not to be used on an open wound. Arnica should not be used on an open wound. Stephanie, do you have a list of oils that are not safe to diffuse children under the age of 6? Do you also have a list of oils that are not safe to dilute and use topically? Pretty much all essential oils can be used topically. As long as they are properly diluted. Some have different topical maxes. But yes, I do have a link for children, and that gives you the safety of essential oils for children, ones that are not recommended for certain age groups, and ones that are safe for all ages. If you have a specific issue that you're looking to address for children, let me know, and then I can give you more specific essential oils that will be helpful for that. Let's see. Ellen, oxidative stress is linked to 95% of all diseases and illnesses. Root cause versus treating the symptoms is best. Absolutely. So that's what I always try to recommend. Whatever your issue is, try to figure it out. Like if you are stressed and anxious, why? Is there something in your life that you need to fix or change? Physical pain, why? Are you getting enough nutrients? Yeah. Are you taking medications that unfortunately is a side effect for? There's so many reasons and ways. Same with headaches. Are you dehydrated? Most of the time, if you have a headache, it's going to be dehydration or it's going to be stress. A lot of times, especially in the winter months where we have our heat on and things are dry, it's typically going to be dehydration. So sometimes it's as simple as keeping hydrated that can keep those headaches away. Can some essential oils harm dogs if they're diffused, or do they have to come in direct contact with it? If they are inhaling, there are some essential oils. I'm going to give you a link. There are some essential oils that are not recommended to use around dogs, even if inhaling. So check that link out. There are lots that are safe. So it's not necessarily always they have to have a topical application in order for it to harm them. There are some essential oils that should not be inhaled either around dogs. So I hope I've gotten everybody's comments. I think I've gotten to the end so far. Let me just scroll all the way back just to make sure that I scrolled back to the beginning and I got Rhiannon from Australia. Hey, Milka! Lucia from California, Nepal, Ecridy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, so I think I got that. Perfect. I think I'm actually caught up. That's amazing. My mom has severe hot flashes. Can you recommend anything to help, please? Yes. Yes, I can. There is, I'm going to help you by letting you know that there are some essential oils that can be helpful for that. There are also refrigerated hydrosols. If you have any hydrosols, that can also be helpful. I recommend geranium. I recommend clary sage. Those can be very helpful if inhaled for hot flashes. Now, I do have a special formula in the EO Recipes Club for hot flashes, and that has had very high reviews on efficacy. Let me go ahead and see. Hang on one second. I'm going to give you a link as well to some free information too. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So here we go. I mean, there's just so much to say with this. I mean, it's tied to hormones, hormone levels. It could be as simple as having her hormones checked, giving her a supplement, but essential oils can also be a tool that can help, during these times. Let's see. Okay, so I do have here, while essential oils don't affect hormone levels, inhaling essential oils like geranium can help you feel more balanced. And then you can read Sharon's success story. She is part of our EO Recipes Club, and she said that she made the hot flash recipe the other day. It works amazing. She had another blend that worked so-so, but this works almost instantly. I can't say enough, as I have been battling with hot flashes for nearly 17 years. To not be a sweaty mess is a blessing. So, yes, essential oils can definitely be helpful with that. And again, if you have hydrosols, refrigerate a few. Refrigerate neroli, refrigerate geranium, and just having that cooling spray can also really help with hot flashes as well. Stephanie saying, thank you. I'm new, and what holds me back from using essential oil safely for my kids, so this will be helpful. You are welcome. And if you have any questions, Stephanie, about anything in that link or whatever, use this group, post in this group. And I know sometimes it takes a little bit to get to your questions. Sometimes it takes a little bit more research. Roxanne is the one that handles all of our questions. And she actually sleeps at night, and she takes the weekends off because I make her. Sometimes she can't help herself, and she's in here anyways, but she handles the questions for me. And sometimes I'll go live and take a few and stuff too. But so it might take a little bit of time because there's only the two of us, and we are human and we have to sleep. But we will absolutely get your questions answered. So if you have any questions, please let us know, because we definitely want to help you. NRF reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. I jumped off the oils bandwagon and found a way to recover my health naturally. NRF. Could you let me know what NRF is? Because I'm not sure that I know what that means. National Retail Federation? Probably not the one. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know what that means. I'm not sure what you mean, Ellen. I don't know. Hey Rhonda, thanks for joining. Stephanie, any suggestions for a 4-year-old being scared of monsters? You can make monster spray. And for a 4-year-old, it will probably work. So we have a link to some calming essential oils. I made a Jitters rollerball with peace and calming, valor, stress away, and lavender, but I'm wondering if there's anything else that can help with these emotions for a 4-year-old. So, first of all, there's a couple of blends that you have mentioned that aren't going to be safe for kids. Also, inhalation is going to be the most effective way to deal with emotional issues such as, Mommy, I'm scared. So, a roller bottle is not necessarily going to be helpful. So, I would definitely check out the link for calming. That will help you come up with some essential oils that you may have that can help with that. And I would formulate a spray. So I would just add some to some water, shake it, spritz it. Have her shake it, spritz it. And that can be calming. Not to her skin. She can spritz it on her pajamas or her bedding or her closet or whatever that she wants to do. But a roller ball is not necessary. And like I mentioned, there are a couple of those blends you mentioned that are not going to be safe for kids. So just as another safer option for you. Okay, so are there any other questions that you guys have? I don't know how long I've been on here. But if there's any other questions that you have that you need me to answer since I'm here, I will be happy to do that. If you have anything else, any other questions at all? Okay, here's another question that somebody just posted. So I'm going to answer Heidi over here. Maybe she's still on. She's asking which oils should not be used around babies. I'm sure this has been asked and posted a million times, but I just joined and would like to be keeping our little man safe as quickly as possible. So, yes, Heidi, I am going to also give you the children link so that you can check out the essential oils that are going to be safe and not safe. I don't know how old your baby is, but generally we recommend avoiding diffusing essential oils, even if they're kid safe, under age 6 months, and generally avoiding topical use under the age of 2 years. There are of course, exceptions, especially if they are safe for children. For example, if your 1-year-old gets stung by a bee, absolutely throw those essential oils on. And other reasons. Lucia is saying, my 6-year-old gets very congested at night. Okay, then. We have a link for you. I have pretty much a link for everything. That is a link that goes to our page on congestion, and that is something that you can use on your 6-year-old. I do have recommendations for essential oils that are safe for all ages, that aren't going to cause respiratory issues. For those of you new and don't know, I do not recommend using eucalyptus, rosemary, cardamom, any essential oils that are high in 1,8-cineol on children under the age of 10, including inhalation. Who was it earlier that mentioned that she made a foot cream with eucalyptus and her feet felt very cold? Children are a lot more sensitive to the 1,8-cineol and also the menthol and the peppermint, so I don't recommend using peppermint under age 6. It can stop their breathing. It can slow their breathing. It can cause slowed respiration, labored breathing. It's something that it mimics the cold receptors in their lungs and makes them feel like they can't breathe, and that's pretty scary. So we definitely want to make sure we are using essential oils that are safe for them while also being very effective. And you will find in that link on congestion that fir needle is the #1 essential oil that I recommend for congestion, because not only is it more effective, or at least as effective as eucalyptus, it's also safe for all ages. Super, super effective. So we talked a little bit earlier about lavender and how that makes a lot of people more awake and it doesn't really work for them. Eucalyptus has that reputation, like lavender for sleep and calming. Eucalyptus has a reputation of being the one to pick for congestion and respiratory issues. It shouldn't really have that reputation. Fir needle is going to be #1. That's going to be the one that I would recommend for all ages. Mary Kate is asking or saying, when I come to this page, your videos are not there. Why not? I don't know. Here is a link to all the videos in this group right there. So you can watch all my lives and everything. So you guys want free information? You guys want to be able to learn and learn and learn? Check out the videos. Check out the videos. They're full of either me addressing a specific topic and or me answering your questions. And a lot of the questions are going to be things that you probably have yourself, that other people have asked. It's just very interesting. You know, people ask different things and you can always have something to learn. And then you get to also see me with my purple and blue hair. That was so fun. So a year ago, this was on my bucket list. I decided to dye my hair purple and blue, my logo colors, these colors right here that you're seeing. Actually, it was a little darker than that one, and it was so fun. And I can see them in here as I'm scrolling, and then you can see where I had to bleach all the color out, and I'm like really, really, really white again. That was fun. It was on my bucket list. I had to do it. I guess you're not getting any messages. Well, I saw that one. Ooh. You know what? Facebook isn't showing me. Yes, it is. I see it now. Sometimes Facebook does that where I'm scrolling and keeping up with your comments, and then it puts one up farther. So I apologize, Akriti. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Are essential oils safe for kids, toddlers, in lip balms? Considering we are adding only 0.5% or even lesser, I'm looking at lavender, sweet orange, or peppermint. Those lavender and sweet orange would be fine. Peppermint would not be for under age 6. So as long as they're over age 6, that could be fine. So yeah, I would just take a look at the essential oils themselves and see what ages they're safe for and go from there. But otherwise, that could be totally fine. You are welcome, Mary Kate. Hey, Valerie, thanks for joining. So if anybody else that's here, if you have not had your chance to ask me a question, now is your chance to ask me a question about essential oils, about using essential oils safely. If you have any questions about anything that we've talked about that you might need clarity on, if you have questions about something else we haven't talked about yet, you can pick my brain. That's what I'm here for, and I would be happy to help you for a little bit longer before I get off. Perfect. So did everybody check out that post on elderberry and echinacea? I just want to make sure everybody sees that post. So when you get off of here, scroll down to the post from 3 hours ago where I talk about the differences in the safety of elderberries and echinacea, because it is definitely hopping. We have a zillion comments on that thread in just a couple of hours on the safety and efficacy of elderberries and echinacea, and which one is safe for people with immune system disorders and which one might have some issues. Oh, Akriti, I'm actually pronouncing your name right. I'm so shocked and happy. Thank you for letting me know. Mary, would it be okay to use a thieves mix to mop the floors at my house with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old? As long as they are not close enough to be breathing it in, and as long as you are not pregnant, or breastfeeding, as long as anybody is not, on medications or on aspirin or anything like that. But I mean, because if you're saying thieves mix, in my mind, I know that one company has that as the name of their anti-germ, but it was actually decades before that, for a long time, used as an herbal mixture that included vinegar. But basically, it's anti-germ. So if it has cinnamon bark, it's not safe for pregnancy. If it has cinnamon leaf and clove, all of those three, cinnamon bark, cinnamon leaf, and clove, have issues with blood thinning. Let me just show you right here. I just want to show you guys, because this is serious. I know everybody likes to grab their Thieves Blend or their On Guard or whatever. Okay, hang on. I can't talk and count and figure out where I am at the same time. And there are safety issues. So this is from my book, Essential Oil Safety Files. And here is the safety for cinnamon bark, if you guys can read this. So it is safe for all ages to inhale and use topically, but it's not safe for pregnancy and breastfeeding. It is not safe if you are using diabetes medication. It is anticoagulant, so you want to be careful if you are on blood thinners using aspirin. If you're prone to nosebleeds before and after surgery, it has a super low topical max, which is not a concern if you are using it for cleaning. And cinnamon leaf, similarly, it is not safe for if you are on blood thinners, etc. If you are taking pethidine, MAOIs, SSRIs, it is safe during pregnancy, however, the cinnamon leaf. And then we have clove as well, which is similar to cinnamon bark and also similar to cinnamon leaf. Ages 2+ topically, it is safe for pregnancy and breastfeeding. It has a low topical max, and it has reasons why you want to avoid it. So there are issues. Some of these may not apply to you. So if you're not pregnant, if you're not taking aspirin, if you're not prone to nosebleeds, if whatever, then it's fine and you can use it. I would definitely avoid using it around your children, that particular mix, because it also includes eucalyptus and rosemary, which are not safe for ages under age 10 due to the high 1,8-cineol. It can cause labored breathing and slowed respiration, so they should not be breathing it. So yes, as long as they are not in the room and you personally are okay with the safety issues, then it's fine. By the way, if you guys want access to free access to the free portion of the Essential Oil Blends safety files, I do include Thieves and On Guard in that, so you can look up the safety. We have 18 blends included in the free level so that you can access safety of your blends. We have doTERRA's Breathe, Easy Air, DigestZen, On Guard. We have Oracacia, Aromatics International. We have a blend for those as well as Eden's Garden, Melaleuca Now. Plant Therapies, Germ Fighter, Immune Aid, Brain Aid, Revive. We have Rocky Mountain Oils, Balance, Immune Strength, Simply Earth and Young Living, Digize, Progestins Plus, and Thieves on the free level. On the paid level, we have, as of last week, and I will be adding more blends tonight because I generally add more blends around Monday or Tuesday. We have over 18 brands and 236 blends that I've assessed for safety in that resource. But again, there is a free level. So if you want to know the safety of Thieves, On Guard, whatever, you can check it out there for a more thorough breakdown of the blend itself. The safety book can be found on ueoslibrary.com. You can find all the resources there too. I currently am out of stock on the print books, but I do have several of you grabbing the pre-orders. So once the pre-orders hit a certain mark, and even if they don't, by March, I will be getting more in. But I just got some in last month. I only purchase more books like twice a year or so. So I don't have any print books currently, but you can get access to the online version and you can get access to the ebook. And if you grab the bundle, which is the print, the ebook, and the online version, you're basically getting the ebook for free or the online version for free. I take $47 off the bundle version. So no, Mary Ashton, I would not recommend diffusing the blend around your kids. You can clean with it in your own space away from them, but I would not recommend diffusing that under age 10. You are welcome, Valerie. Let's see. Milka loves the safety book. Erica says, ooh, I need this book. Again, how do we get safety books? Okay, so there is, again, I am out of stock on this one as well. This was my first one, Essential Oil Profile. So let me just take 1 minute. Okay, I'm not going to bore you. This has over 240 safety files. So there's 242 essential oils, and I have the safety for all of them right in here. Okay, strictly safety, 240 plus. This book is safety and benefits. So we have the safety on one side. Let's see, the camera's backwards. We have the safety on one side, and then we have the benefits on the other side. And this is for 60 essential oils. However, it also has bonus sections in the back on these topics. Yes, I just went by them. So we have dilution charts in here. We have carriers. We have pregnancy and breastfeeding. We have children. And we have dogs and cats information here as well. So those are the two resources that you have to choose from when it comes to using essential oils safely and getting those profiles, just so you guys are aware. Mary says, gotcha, so get them out of the room, do it when they aren't home. Yeah, just as long as they're not in the room. That's totally fine, you know, as long as they're not in the room. They don't have to necessarily not be home. Stephanie, if you diffuse or use an oil topically that is not safe for children, how long do you have to wait until I can allow them to enter the room after I stop diffusing? If I roll an oil on my arm, how long after they are allowed to touch my arm? Great question. So that is a little bit difficult to give you an exact specific answer for, because I don't know what your dilution is, where you've applied it. But generally, I say if you are applying it under your clothes, you can be around your kids a lot faster. If you are wearing shorts and you are applying a 20% blend for your sore calf muscle, and it has peppermint essential oil, 20% dilution of peppermint essential oil on your calf, I would probably recommend waiting, 15 to 30 minutes before being exposed to your kids. The point is, they should not be inhaling it. So whatever that means. If you are putting it under your long skirt or under your pants, or whatever, then that would be fine. They're probably not going to smell it very strongly, hopefully, if at all. If you are diffusing, I suggest running a fan, cracking a window, airing out or opening the room. It's probably going to be 15 minutes. If you don't, it'll probably be about 15 minutes before you can walk in the room and not smell it. It's going to depend on how big is the room, the intensity. There's a lot of factors, so I can't give you an exact number, but as long as they can't smell it anymore, then that is a good thing. You can roll it on yourself, preferably under clothes so they aren't smelling it. Okay. So Akriti is asking, coming back to eucalyptus oil. There's this famous cold rub in India, at least, Vicks Baby Rub. Yes, we are familiar with it. This one has a fragrance blend of eucalyptus, rosemary, and lavender for baby's cough, cold, chest congestion. I'm now totally confused with what we discussed just now in eucalyptus and cineol. Yeah, so I don't recommend that. Vicks did come out with a baby version because of issues they were having with the regular full-strength one for adults on some children. Now, there are some children that were exposed to that had no issue, but there's a lot of kids that do have issues with that. So they did come out with a baby version, which I believe is a more diluted mixture, but it still has eucalyptus, it still has rosemary in it. So I cannot, in good conscience, recommend it. So if you can smell it, if you take that and you smell it and you can smell the eucalyptus and rosemary, that means your child also can smell it. So I don't recommend that. That could have an adverse effect. So I don't recommend that. Yes, so I do have a link for something that you can use. So that link, the Congest link, gives you options for essential oils that are safe. If you click on the downloadable PDF, so click the image to download the PDF, and you will get a much bigger list of essential oils that you can use, and not just fir needle. There's a whole bunch more options. There's at least a couple dozen options that you can use that are effective, very effective for congestion. You'll also get my personal inhaler recipe in there as well. So you can add a blend of a certain essential oils to a personal inhaler, and this is something that you can use for congestion. Now, if you are an adult, I recommend a steam inhalation, super effective. Young kids generally aren't comfortable with that. Kids under age 6, you can kind of just waft this under their nose and they will be able to breathe it. They will be able to have an effective result with it. You can also diffuse the mixture too. So that would be another option for you. Okay, so I gave you the link. Hey, Merla. Stephanie says that makes sense. Thank you. You are welcome. You are very welcome. Super. So if there's any more questions, now's your chance. Otherwise, I'm going to get off. And so I just saw a comment from Diane in the group about brands and if I'm going to update my brands list. Some of you have seen that the last time I updated it technically was 2016. My opinion has not changed. I have not seen any changes from the companies to the point where I need to update my list. So that is going to change. That is not going to change. I may edit the list to include more essential oil brands since there's so many, but I am not aware of any major changes with any brands to the point where I need to change my recommendations. So, personal inhalers. I love getting mine. Let me grab a link for you from Rivertree Life. So you can find them at rivertreelife.com. I typically just grab mine off of Amazon. Let me find the inhalers that I like. So these are the aluminum and glass inhalers, set of 6. And I have all colors. I even have their new square ones, which I noticed are not actually available on Amazon anymore that I've noticed. They have some new square ones. So you may have to go to their website for that if you want their square ones. But they have lots of different colors. That is the company that I recommend, though. I absolutely love River Tree Life. So that's what I would recommend for inhalers. Oh, you are welcome. They're not silly at all. They're not silly at all, Akriti. I'm happy to answer every question. So if you guys have questions, I'm still here. You guys know. When I go live, I'm generally here a couple of hours, sometimes longer. And, as long as you guys keep asking me questions, I'm going to keep sitting here and I'm going to keep answering them. At least until my voice gives out. I've used it for my 2-year-old. Definitely check it out. This is Erica. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so that's and that blend has been out there for you guys to use and try for years, and everybody loves the congestion blend. Or the anti-congestion blend, I should say, I suppose. Okay, so if anybody has more questions, and if I don't see any more questions, then I will get off because I don't want to bore anybody and I don't want to sit here la 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 and bore you guys, especially those of you watching the replay. Good night, Leah. It's almost 10 at night in California. You are welcome, Lucia. I will talk to you later. Have a great night. Okay, well, if anyone has any more questions and I don't see them before I click off, then feel free to ask your questions anyway. And what I will do is, you're welcome, Milka. What I will do is just answer you in the comments. So I hope everyone has a great night. I hope you learned something. If you learned something, would you just take a moment to type in the comments what you learned? What is your takeaway from this conversation? That would be great. And then other people know why they should watch this live. Thanks, guys. See ya.